From New York, this is WIUR Radio.
Hello and good morning to everyone tuning in to the Weekend Sports Recap. I'm Isaiah Rosario, joined by my co-host Nick Gualtieri. We're going to be going over NBA opening week, the World Series, college football, and the NFL. But before we get started today, I'm not sure who's listening or who's going to be tuning in later, but we want to give our deepest condolences to the Mangold family after hearing Nick Mangold's passing yesterday and the Jets winning in his honor, which was great to see. And that was a great win for the organization as a whole. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So again, from me and Nick, our prayers are with the Mangold family, and we're wishing for the best for that family for the future. So we're going to start off with NBA opening week. Again, it's a little bit of a weird time right now. There's teams that are 2-0 right now that are first in the NBA standings that really aren't going to be there in a few weeks. But some of the players that I thought had a great week one was Wemby, Curry, and Doncic. I know you also had another player who you thought did really well this week as well.
Okay, I know they lost last or 2 nights ago to the Heat.
Last night
to the Heat. But Jalen Brunson, no doubt, is one of the better players in the NBA. Obviously, you saw it last year. He was insane. Scored like 40 points the last 10 games every game. He hasn't dropped fewer than 20 in any of the first 3 games. Obviously,
he should be dropping that much a game.
37 last night is insane.
Yeah, and a loss though, which stinks.
It's a loss.
23 against the Cavs too. Not great numbers. I don't think he shot really. Yeah, he didn't shoot well that day.
31 against the Celtics though. The Celtics, you can't be talking about that.
My team, man. I mean, it's gonna be a gap year. Hopefully, they tank for AJ DiPintanza, get him as the number 1 pick, which I doubt is gonna happen because they're definitely gonna win games, and I still think they're gonna make the playoffs and be a play-in team, but not go that far. But Wemby, man, he is a freak of nature. That guy in his 3rd year, he's up there for MVP already. And just seeing what he could do at his height and his not weight, because he's a relatively skinny guy, but seeing what he does at his size is ridiculous. He could defend, he could shoot, he could dribble the ball. He's a 5-tool player.
Him being able to shoot is the biggest cheat code in the NBA. No, I played with him on. I know it's different, but I played with him on NBA 2K before. His shooting ability isn't if he's paired up against a guy who's probably 5'6", 5'7", he doesn't even need it. He could just it's like a mini hoop for him, like the NBA hoop. And if you've seen the POV shots of him having a GoPro, insane. It's like a mini hoop. Him dunking on the NBA hoop. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to jump.
And he's athletic. Yeah. That's the thing. He's an athletic guy. Just overall, I think there's no. Maybe he could bulk up a little bit more, but the thing is, if he bulks up, he might lose a little bit of that speed and agility that he has. But he's been ballistic, and Curry too. I mean, what year is it for Curry? It's probably year 16, 17 for Curry, 40, or 14. Yeah. I might be a little high on those numbers, but age is not catching up to him. I think he's beating out the race for age because what he's doing and some of the shots he took and that overtime win versus Denver, ridiculous. I mean, how do you
42 him and Aaron Gordon scored. Aaron Gordon dropped 50.
That was a random 50 bomb.
And then Curry dropped 42. Curry though was 6 of 12 from 3, which is
he's ridiculous.
His shooting range, I've talked to multiple people about this. I really thought it declined a little bit, his shooting range, but I would like to formally apologize to the whole Curry family and Stephen Curry for doubting his shooting range.
The older he gets, the more farther back he goes in the 3, because it's just I could pop up from there. So he just steps into a 3 from half court and just gonna swish it.
It's also when you're that age, especially him. Not even that he's denying it, but you don't want to admit that you're getting kind of older. You're getting.
He said that and he's oh, I'm getting old, but he still could drop 50 on your head and with no worry.
Yeah, Thunder still looking like a title contender. They're disgusting.
They're just scoring everybody.
And 117. Pacers, that was a
double overtime game.
Two overtime.
I'm surprised their legs weren't dead because I think it was only a day gap between the double overtime games with them and the Rockets. I mean, that opening night game, I was watching it. I wanted to watch the Warrior game so bad, but on my TV, it didn't allow me to go to the Warriors game. So I'm another overtime. Okay, cool. One I could do. And then a second one, I'm okay, now after that second overtime, I was just exhausted. I didn't even want to watch the Warriors game, and that game was also a really good game as well.
Yep. But that's I don't know. Just looking forward to the rest of the NBA season. I'm a huge basketball fan, so Beachmont Tavern's gonna have a lot of wings coming for me in the next coming 2 weeks.
And Butler dropping 31 opening night too. If they both can score at that high level, it's gonna be tough to beat that Warriors team. I mean, they got some dogs there, and they like Luka Doncic dropping 50 points or 49.
I
Anthony,
can't stand the Lakers, bro. I don't.
they're
I
just
like,
always gonna be a good team because they got the money. It's the same thing with the Dodgers. Like they got LeBron, but it's Luka's team now. And I saw a funny, I think it was one of the tweets or captions Luka said about his game. And then you got Austin Reeves saying, "Make your free throw," because he was at the line for a chance to get 50. He commented that, and then Luka just said, "Shut up" in the comments, joking with Anthony Reeves about it. I was
you
like,
mean
that's pretty
Austin
funny.
Reeves?
Oh yeah, Austin Reeves. So early, so early. Austin Reeves joking with Luka to make your free throws, and Luka's just
What do you
saying, "Shut
think
up."
about what do you think about do you think LeBron's gonna wait for Bryce to get into the league or no?
I don't know because I think he would have if the Lakers was still his team. He would have been the face of the Lakers franchise, but I think it's Luka. I think he's gonna retire after this year. He should. I mean, will he? I doubt it. Um, I doubt he's gonna retire at this point.
And then
He
next
might
year,
wait, but we have to see how he plays because everyone says Bryce is better than Bronny, so I want to see that at the college level before we say that. But I know nepotism got Bronny the NBA gig from his dad, which I don't think he deserved.
let's be honest here.
Bronny's not good.
Bronny's not good, but also Bryce is really overrated too.
I mean, I want to see him play in college.
Him getting a scholarship to Arizona is a little bit.
I mean, that Arizona, I think is I don't know if it's a big. It might be a bigger basketball school.
Bryce was never like dead set on basketball. He kind of just got fostered into it, which I was like, I don't know.
But you don't have the LeBron name attached to you.
You saw like I forget who it was. One of the analysts on ESPN said this. He was like, "Great for Bronny. You know, the Lakers chose him to keep LeBron in Los Angeles. Did he deserve the Lakers gig? No, he was not that good. Like in no world did he deserve to get picked. They picked him solely because
LeBron wanted to play with him, and he could be a solid player, but I think he can't be anything better than a late bench guy or a decent G leaguer because he played really well in his time in the G League last year, and I think he should stick with the G League to really develop him more because he's not going to play now in this Lakers squad. They still want to compete for a championship. You're only going to give him 5 minutes a game, maybe. So I think that's what the important thing is, but it's only time will really tell. And then looking at all the other games, there was no crazy games that happened this week besides the Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday games. There was a couple good ones, but the weekend was a little iffy for a couple teams. I mean, Rockets kind of struggled against the Pistons. The Pistons could be a really good team, I think, this year too. Mavs were still trying to find their footing. Big win for them last night. Cooper Flag looks better in his last 2 games, which is something you want to see if you're a Mavs fan because he didn't play well at all the first game.
Con Knipple's looking pretty good too. Dropping 20 points against the Wizards.
I mean, the Wizards are the Wizards. They're going to be atrocious this year. Yeah, Clippers, I think
the Hornets are going to be a sleeper team though.
They could be good. They're just going to, if they're going to outscore everyone. That's my thing because they don't have a good defense. They're just going to run and gun in that team because they're quick and young.
Tyrese Proctor could be a game changer for. I'm talking about all the Duke guys right now, but that Duke recruiting class is pretty crazy.
That was like produced really good talent.
Kaman Malawak, who's I don't know how well he's doing. I think he's a bench player.
He's probably I haven't heard much about him.
Tyrese Proctor is a bench player for the Cavs.
But again, they'll build up their role as the year goes on.
And Flag are starters.
Yeah, it's mostly the lottery guys that are going to definitely start because you don't want to sit your top 10 pick on a bench, and then he's not going to develop. But, I mean, only time will tell. Harper looks pretty good as well.
Bailey is so freaking overrated, bro.
Yeah, Ace Bailey. I didn't even look at his stats because I haven't been following a single Utah Jazz game.
He had 2 points.
Let's see. Did they play today, the Jazz?
Our former Iona guy, Walter Clayton Jr., kind of went crazy in the opener against the Jazz.
Yeah, 10 points for Clayton on the year so far, 10 points per game. Ace Bailey, 1 point. He didn't play he didn't play the first game of the season. No, never mind. There's only 2 games for the Jazz. So yeah, he only played 2 minutes
0 points.
in 20 minutes. And then
for 5 field goals.
yeah, no, he's not gonna be good. What a waste. I think he might be also doing this as like leverage just to get out of Utah because that was the one place he didn't want to go.
I don't know if you saw that, but like he didn't report when he needed to. He was supposed to report to like Utah to like meet with the coaching staff and everything, and he didn't take the plane with Walter Clayton.
Ace Bailey.
What a human.
What a human. So I think that's pretty much going to round it up again. There'll be more, obviously, as the season goes on for the NBA, but it's such a small sample size for everything right now in the NBA because we're 3 games into the season. So
we'll get into college basketball
next week. That's going to be fun. All the games start a week from today. Basketball.
Iona basketball.
Iona basketball.
Taking on the Hofstra Pride opening night. Everyone pack the hack. We'll get back.
We'll get into it next week. And then the big story, at least MLB, is Yamamoto is that guy. He is ridiculous, throwing complete games in the NLCS and the World Series. Last complete game since Johnny Cueto. And
I'm going to let you take lead on this personally because I cannot stand either of these teams that are in the World Series. I personally, like, obviously crazy that he threw the first complete game in the World Series since 2015, but cannot stand Yamamoto, cannot stand.
The Yankees were so close to getting Yamamoto too. Brian Cashman was in Japan watching him pitch and then just let him go. Yeah. But again, Yamamoto in this Dodgers offense really picked up after the Game 1 performance. I mean, that 9-run 6th inning in Game 1 was a heartbreaker. It made me actually think do the Blue Jays have that chance to win the World Series this year? And I mean, the offense really struggled on Saturday. But again, it's Yamamoto pitching, who's, I think, a legitimate contender for Cy Young next year if he continues to pitch the way he has in the postseason. And they're letting him go the distance, which you don't really see anymore in playoff baseball. A lot of these managers really utilize the bullpen as much as they can in the postseason because they know they have all the rest coming up in the world in the offseason. But for some of these guys, the offseason isn't really going to last long because they're going to get playoff level baseball in March with the World Baseball Classic. So, but a lot of these guys that are in the Dodgers system are going to be playing in that World Baseball Classic. So they're going to get high level play in October and then in March, which is exciting to see. But the Dodgers pitching staff is just one of one. I mean, they got dogs up and down their lineup from Snell Game 1, Yamamoto Game 2. I think it's going to be Shohei Game 3. Let me just double check that. Game 3 today. It's going to be Glass now, actually, starting for the Dodgers. And Scherzer is going to be pitching for the Blue Jays. And I saw on social media today was that all the Blue Jays guys were actually scared to talk to Scherzer on the days he pitches because it's just like he's a different animal when he pitches, which I find hilarious because I could see it in his eyes. He's just an animal, and him yelling at Snyder to stay on in game, I think it was game 6 of the ALCS, 6 or 5, one of those. And I was just like, wow, that's pretty funny. I mean, he's an animal. I mean, he's always been a great playoff performer, which is something you want to see. But again, I think today, if you're the Blue Jays, you got to try to take, I don't know what game you take, but you got to force the series to go back to Toronto. Obviously, you have to because the Dodgers are 3 at home now. But I think this game 2 is going to be very important to set the tone for the rest of the matchup. And if you lose today, you got to win game 4. Game 4, excuse me. You got to win that game 4. Because again, the Dodgers, if they get momentum, it's pretty much series over. They have the staff to do it. They have the lineup to do it. And if they get hot, they get hot. So I think the Dodgers are going to take the game today with Glass now on the bump. I think Scherzer's going to get rocked because a bunch of the Dodgers guys have seen him for quite a while since he was with the NL East and the Nationals. They faced him in 2019. I think they faced the Dodgers. I could be wrong or whatever. But the matter is, I think the lineup has seen Scherzer quite a bit. I think they're going to hit him today. And Glass now, I think, is going to do well. But I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. But the Dodgers are going to come out on top. And now with baseball pretty much done, I think we're going to get to the story of the day in college football yesterday that LSU
Ryan Kelly, let's
dismissing
go, bro.
Ryan Kelly being dismissed from LSU
Well,
after his
not
performance.
dismissed. He
That's
was,
what it was. It said, right? It was
it
dismissed,
said-
informed to dismiss
Oh yeah, informed that they had
Planned to
intentioned-
dismiss them.
Yeah.
after his gutful performance versus A&M. That was an awful game if you're LSU. I
I've
mean,
been
you
following him since his time in Notre Dame, and I've never been a big Brian Kelly fan. Leaves Notre Dame on really bad terms, goes to LSU, and has a horrible 3 seasons, or however long it was. He has a horrible tenure there, and it's kind of capped off with that 24-point loss to the Texas A&M.
they competed going into halftime, and then it was just after
Texas
halftime,
A&M.
they just couldn't get anything going on offense. I mean, the LSU offense continues to struggle. They were awful all year, pretty much offensively. Never could have got really anything going. Really struggled to score 25 points. I think that was their season high, really, in points. Let me just see. At least versus the Power 5. Yeah, 24 points versus Vandy, 20 points versus South Carolina, 19 versus Ole Miss, 56 against a non-Power 5 team, and then 20 against Florida, and then 23 against Louisiana Tech, and then 17 against Clemson. Like the whole year, the offense has really struggled. 83rd in the nation in offense. For a Power 5 program, that should not be happening. And I think it all stems to Brian Kelly, and I think they made the right decision to fire him. And now it's going to be another opening, which is going to be interesting to see who it's going to get filled by. But I don't know. The
I heard
LSU
Penn
is joke.
State's going after Marcus Freeman.
I mean, he'll be dumb to leave Notre Dame. In my opinion, I think it would be.
He also loves it at Notre Dame. So
Oh, he does.
I don't think he would.
He's like one of the faces there.
And then you got Texas staying alive. I mean,
Yeah, that was still such a bad. I mean, their offense really struggled in that first half, and then I was thinking, like, is Arch Manning actually done? Is he not that guy?
I don't think he's not going to be. He's never going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. I think he'll be a backup to. He'll be like a Riley. I think Riley Leonard is actually a better quarterback than he was in college. That's my opinion.
I think he's going to stay another year, but the matter is if he's going to stay at Texas. I don't know if he's going to stay. You think he's going to stay at Texas because next year should be a better year because he has a year of
He could
under his belt.
Could go to Indiana because Fernando Mendoza.
He's
going
gonna
to
get drafted.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, Arch goes to Indiana and goes off against Big 12 opponents.
I think the SEC is just too much for him. The SEC is full of powerhouses now.
Yeah, you
And
got
now with Oklahoma also going from the Big 12 to the SEC, and same thing with Texas. They went to the Big 12 to the SEC, but Oklahoma can compete with the SEC guys. Texas really can't. I mean, not from at least this year. I mean, you're struggling against Mississippi State in a bad first half. It looks like you're going to lose that game outright, and then you come back in overtime to beat Mississippi State.
I mean, a good come from behind win, but it's Mississippi State.
And they lost 2 points in the rankings. They dropped they were 20th last week, and now they're 22nd. We'll get into the AP poll as we close out college football, but there's a couple games.
No, they're not 20th. They moved up.
They moved up?
Yeah.
Oh. For my thing, it says 22nd or 20th. See that my app is
they were 22nd. They moved up to 20th.
So my app is just confusing like that because it doesn't give me. It gives me the rankings of the week prior, rather than giving me the active rankings. But we'll look into it. We could report about that stuff when we get to the end of the show.
We also got BYU.
Indiana's just
Ole Miss.
a buzzsaw.
I'm just
Indiana
thinking,
beating a solid UCLA team since they fired their whole coaching staff, and they gave a whooping to UCLA. I mean, Indiana's
56
insane.
to 6 is crazy. This is my opinion on the whole matter. Indiana was kind of a joke team. They were kind of a sleeper team last year. I
think they were 5th in the preseason.
In the college football playoff last year. They go and walk into South Bend, try to upset Notre Dame on their home turf. They get kind of their butts handed to them in that game a little bit toward the end. Notre Dame beats them 27-17, I think it was. And I thought, oh yeah, Indiana's a joke. This year, they look like a national title contender.
It's going to be them. The Big Ten championship between Ohio State and Indiana is going to be pure cinema. That game is going to be like 100 to 100. I mean, but both defenses are good,
I think Fernando
but those
Mendoza,
offenses are just
Mendoza
different.
is better than Sayan, in my opinion. It's not even close. The only reason Ohio State is this good is because
Their defense
their
is
defense.
ridiculous.
Like if you look at their schedule, they're not putting up insane points. I mean, Grambling State, you should be beating them 70-0, but like Washington only put up 24, Illinois 34, Wisco 34. Their defense is just carrying them.
And
if they didn't have their defense, they'd be.
I'll give a little bit of a hot take right now for next week. I think Penn State is going to keep up with Ohio State. I think Penn State's going to keep it close.
If Penn State upsets Ohio State, I'm gonna laugh.
Without James Franklin?
I cannot stand the Ohio State Buckeyes, their student body as a whole, or their coaching staff, because their coach is just so full of himself and so full of that university. He's like, after they beat Notre Dame last year, he was like, it was Ryan Day, and he was like, I can't. He's like, it's been Ohio against the world. I'm like, bro, Ohio State's a hated franchise because the like history wise, they've been like extremely extreme. I don't want to like say anything like hot take or anything, but like I'm pretty sure the Ohio State like fan base has been very toxic. Like they're so toxic. Like they're really
there's
toxic.
a very toxic fan base, and because they're always good year in and year out in college football, so they have that a little bit to them.
BYU, Ole Miss.
BYU is another good team. I still don't understand how BYU year in and year out is a solid team. Like it's just one of those weird.
They just got a 5-star quarterback too. It's from Folsom High School.
They recruited him for next year.
Yeah, and so he's a 5-star quarterback, but their backup quarterback is a 4-star who hasn't played.
It's insane. And then even
It's like-
college
it's like-
basketball, they got that AJ DiBentanza kid. I would love to know what BYU does recruiting wise to get all these kids.
I'm also wondering, like, speaking of like people who you haven't really seen play and they're already 5 stars or whatever. I don't really know how they like rank preseason teams.
Yeah, when you don't even know them.
in college football, college basketball, whatever it is. They'll like rank college basketball teams in like June or like May, and I'm like, they don't have like a lot of the teams like because guys transfer.
Like look at Boise State being ranked to beginning of the year and then clapped week 1.
I was looking at like this old interview with the former head coach of Iona, Tobin Anderson, and they were like, oh, Iona was preseason picked 4th his first year here after Patino left, and he was like, I mean, fantastic, we're ranked 4th, but we don't even have a team yet. Like I still have to recruit everyone for our team. I'm like, then how do you? Is it just like the name Iona that like gets you the 4th? Like I don't know how.
Like let's look at the preseason top 25 right now for college football and see how much just it's changed. Preseason.
Well, Penn
college
State and
football,
Oregon
AP
were in the top
25.
2.
So let me see. Preseason AP. All right. So for football, we got Texas was number 1. Penn State was number 2. Clemson was 4. LSU 9. Arizona State 11. South Carolina was 13. SMU was 16. Kansas State was 17. Texas A&M was 19. Ole Miss was 21. Iowa State was 22. Tech, Tennessee, and Boise
Notre
State
Dame was like
25.
8, right?
Yeah. So that it's just like preseason means nothing. I mean,
It's like
it all
also-
depends on how you do during the season.
Did you see Drew Aller after they lost that game? He like snapped at the reporter, was like, "Oh, are you guys still in the running for the CFB?" And he was like,
Oh, I
"The
did see that.
The CFP," and he was like, "What do you think?" Yes, we're still in the run. Like
You were never in the running for
I'm
college
like,
football playoffs after that loss to Oregon.
one, you're a bum. If you have to snap at reporters, you're a bum. 2, like don't be saying that. But I don't know. I'm not a big Drew Aller fan. I always thought he was overrated. The Notre Dame game last year proved that what I thought was right. You know, him being unable to like he was talking so much stuff about that game. He was like, you know, roll Nittany lines or
He's just a weird guy.
yeah, he is. He's
And-
also like not that good of a quarterback. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
So
And then another couple good games last week or last Saturday, I should say. I think the 2 best ones on the slate. I mean, it felt like a weird week for football in general. Like there was no crazy games,
There
both
wasn't
on
really
the
a big
college football
upsets,
and
yeah.
NFL. But Ole Miss looks good. Lane Kiffin's a great coach. The question is he going to leave to go to Florida? I don't know.
Georgia Tech looks fantastic.
Georgia Tech does look good, but they're beating on a
USF looks
not great.
horrible, bro.
And then Vandy, I like Diego Pavia, man. He's beating Missouri. That was a big win for Pavia. And let's just check the current AP polls.
I got it. So they have Ohio State at 1, Indiana 2, Tech A&M 3, Alabama 4, Georgia 5,
So no
Oregon
movement, top
6.
6.
And then you get Ole Miss got moved past Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech got
Dropped a spot.
dropped to 8th. Miami dropped to 10. They're now tied with BYU for
Still
10.
surprised Miami's ranked that high after that loss to Louisville.
Notre Dame,
Louisville's
Notre
ranked
Dame
now.
is 12. Texas Tech, Tennessee, Virginia, and Louisville, and Cincinnati all move up. Oklahoma and Missouri both drop significantly. Texas moves up. Michigan, Houston, USC, and Utah move up. And Memphis is now number 25.
I don't get the
I don't understand,
Missouri
yeah.
dropping 4 points. I mean, that was it wasn't a terrible loss on the road at Vanderbilt. Dropping them 4 spots, and Oklahoma dropping 5. Those are the two I don't really get.
I don't understand it because you lose by 8 to Ole Miss. It's not like you lost to like.
I mean, maybe because it was a home loss. That's
if
the
you
only reason
lose-
I think.
It's like I would understand it if like Oklahoma say like lost to like FCS, like I don't know. Say Oklahoma lost to, like Lehigh or something. I'd be like, okay, then
That would get
yeah.
them out of the rankings.
yeah, but like
And also Michigan going up 4 points after beating a Michigan State team that they should beat. And that's jumping them up 4 points. I mean, and then the bottom 4 stays the same with Houston, USC, and Utah and Memphis.
Wisconsin doesn't look horrible actually.
They don't, but they're not going to be. They'll get a bowl game. But
Yeah, that's
Navy, love to see Navy get up in
college
there.
football.
Navy's second or first left out, I should say, 86 votes, and they're looking pretty good, Navy.
Alrighty.
So I think now we could talk about the big dogs in the NFL.
Cam Scatterboo
I think that's the big storyline for this week.
out for.
We hope for a speedy recovery for Cam
They
Scatterboo.
said I was looking at like the grades for all the team last year, like yesterday, and it said Cam Scatterboo suffered a season-ending injury. So
Yeah, I think he's obviously done for the year, dislocated ankle. I didn't get to see the injury. I just saw the notification on my phone that he was carted off the field with a gruesome injury, and I just feel so bad for Dart, man. You know, him and Scatterboo are boys. They have their little headbutt celebration with one another, and you could tell how upset Dart was on the field when he was just visibly frustrated and cursing after seeing that injury. It's a tough. The Giants really took a hit there. Now you're out of your running back 1, you're out of your wide receiver 1, and who's Dart going to go to now on offense? Wan'Dale Robinson is now the wide receiver 1 on that team. Tyrone Tracy is going to be the backup, was backup, and now running back 1. I mean, I don't know. The Giants had hope. I don't know anymore now because, I mean, if you're a Giants fan, I think you guys got to look forward to next year now.
I thought they were the real deal. And speaking of real deal, the Colts, Broncos, Pats, Bucks, and Bills all look like
The Bills bounced back. They needed that win
they
bad,
all look.
and they demolished the Panthers, at least for the Bills.
And the New York Jets won a football game. So
New York Jets did win a football game, but the Colts and Daniel Jones era is still surprising me. And MVP right now, give it to him. I don't care if it's a quarterback award. Give the MVP to Jonathan Taylor. He is ridiculous. 14 touchdowns on the year at week 8. That's a running back doing that? And everyone at this point last year was talking about Saquon Barkley winning MVP as a running back. Jonathan Taylor is blowing him out in terms of touchdown, receiving, wins. The only thing is rushing, but he's not getting the rushing attempts because they're blowing out these teams. Like, Jonathan Taylor is that guy. He's ridiculous. Yeah, let me just confirm. I think it's 14 touchdowns in the year. 14 touchdowns on the year. Rushing for 132 yards per game, which is insane.
Yep.
Only behind Bijan Robinson. 153 yards yesterday. 174 total offensive yards yesterday. Like, Drake May and it's still Drake May or Pat Mahomes, I think, as of right now for MVP. Baker he sucked yesterday, Baker. He didn't play well. But still, I want to say Baker sucked, but it was just a weird game yesterday. 2 defensive touchdowns. Was it 2 defensive touchdowns or 1? No, it was just 1 defensive touchdown, but a lot of good defense from the Bucks, which is my one criticism of the Bucks, that they haven't played well. But going back to the Colts, I mean, in MVP conversation, Drake May has been killing it. Right now, if I were to choose, I think it's Drake May or Jonathan Taylor. But I know the voters aren't going to give it to Taylor because it's a quarterback award. What's your take on that? Do you think he deserves it?
I think Jonathan Taylor is by far one of the better players in the NFL. I really have not been paying too close attention. Truthfully,
So no one pays attention to the Colts
This is
year.
this is my whole thing. Like, beside like loosely following the Giants here and there, and like watching it with my dad whenever I go home. I'm not a big NFL guy. I'm more of a basketball / hockey guy. But I think Jonathan Taylor does deserve it. I always find it cool when someone beside a quarterback wins either an MVP or, like, in college football, like the Heisman. So I would love to see someone other than a quarterback win it. So yeah.
Bills get a big bounce back win. Jets get their first win of the year. I think that was also to honor and the man above helping the Jets get the win for Ryan Mangold after passing away tragically. That was great to see, I think, for the organization. Everyone I know who was Jets fans was really happy with that win. I think it was just a big win overall for the organization because, again, Fields wasn't supposed to start that game. It was supposed to be Tyrod, but Tyrod got hurt during practice.
Yep.
And I mean, that play in, what was it, the Breece Hall, who was going to rush it in, but then saw Taylor in the backfield and then just chucked it up for a touchdown back there. It was good. And then the Ravens also looked good. And I think they should be getting Lamar back next week. We shall see. And the Cowboys' defense is just atrocious. They're bad. Like, they can't stop anything. 44 points to the Broncos. Dak gets benched late in that game because it was just a blowout. Dolphins finally pick up a win where they destroy Michael Penix-less Falcons team, and no Drake London in that game as well. 49ers lose. Texans finally get a solid win on the year. Beating the Ravens last week again. That was a Lamar Jackson-less Ravens team, and Giants getting mollywopped by the Eagles. Saquon with 174 total yards on the game, and yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. I mean, tonight's gonna be a decent game, and it's no Jaden Daniels. Kansas City is projected to kill the Commanders. It's on ABC. That's definitely interesting. Not used to seeing that. I think that will be it for at least NFL. I know you said you were a big hockey guy, Nick. I'm not that big of a hockey guy, but I know the NHL also just started up.
Yep.
What have you been seeing these first few weeks from the NHL as a whole?
I'm very frustrated as a Rangers fan. They're in last place currently in the Metropolitan, or the Eastern Conference, I guess you could say, as a whole. In the Metropolitan, they're currently 3-5, 8 points, which is horrible. 2 overtime games.
New York fans have it bad everywhere right now, besides the Knicks.
I mean, teams that kind of look like Stanley Cup title contenders right now, there really aren't any teams that look like crazy to me. But the Devils look really good this season. I mean, the Utah Mammoth, who were formerly the Utah Hockey Club,
and formerly the Coyotes.
Yeah, the Arizona Coyotes. They look pretty good. I really like the new mascot logo. I might just
the new mascot logo is cool.
I want to get just a Mammoth sweatshirt just because I think woolly Mammoth is a cool logo. The Colorado Avalanche always look good.
Canadian 7-3.
The Golden Knights look good. 7-3 is, I mean, it's the Montreal Canadiens, so there's not really, you could either. It's also early in the season. The Rangers can just not buy a win.
And Maple Leafs I know they were decent last year, and they're really struggling at least to start the year. Who else do I know? Yeah, the Rangers in last place in the Metro.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know. I think we'll have more
Oilers
to
need
talk
to pick it
about
up too
in the next few weeks with college basketball starting up. Also, getting into the heat of NBA season should be good.
Yep. College basketball is really starting up next week. We'll take a look at least for the MAC schools. We'll just quietly go over, but we'll go more into depth next
Look at that
week.
real quick. So college basketball starts Monday, November 3rd. So we'll be in the morning
We'll be.
breaking down all the games.
I
that are
can't
going
wait.
down. I'm
cannot
so
wait.
excited for college basketball. So the big storyline in the at least the MAC, Quinnipiac traveling to, I believe they're playing at
St. John's.
Carnesecca Arena. So they're playing St. John's. Iona women start that night too. They play the Mercy Mavericks, Division II, but it's still a good competition. Friday, Iona faces Hofstra at the Hack. Both games are home openers.
Fairfield's traveling. Yeah, these are like all the buy games right now. All the MAC schools are getting paid some big bucks right now to travel to power programs.
Yeah, game that you don't see every day actually. Iona traveling to Kansas City on
That's a weird game.
November 11th. So we'll see what happens.
And then going back to the opening day, Ryder is going to be traveling down to Virginia, which should be a fun game. Fairfield going to Penn State. Canisius going to Dayton. Niagara going to Duquesne. Bryant coming into Siena. Marist going to Xavier. And then Merrimack. That's another weird one. Merrimack going to South Dakota to play SDSU. It was always pretty good.
Fordham versus Iona, though, November 14th at 7 p.m.
That's going to be a crazy game.
I'm just excited because love a local rivalry, but also Iona Fordham. We haven't seen that since 2006. They were gonna play in 2020, like the season after COVID, but it got canceled just due to like COVID cases in both teams. Last year, it was Tobin Anderson, Keith Ergo at the helm of these programs. Now it's Dan Giroux and Mike Magpio for Iona and Fordham. So in both those teams, you're not going to really know how good they are until we play each other. But Iona's team is looking pretty good.
Yep.
I know Fordham has high hopes for this season, coming off 2 really down years going.
Now they got a new coach because everything that broke out last year with Keith Ergo.
Yeah, Keith Ergo with the whole I don't
it was like recruitment stuff, like ineligible money and stuff like that.
I mean, they were kind of minimal at the end, but like they fired him over that stuff, and they couldn't have someone on their at the head of their staff who was like kind of in charge of all that. So gonna be exciting to see Dan Giroux, because they're also very good friends, Magpio and Giroux. So it's gonna be cool to see like 2 friends face off here.
That's probably why they got it too, because they both know each other and they were able to schedule that game, and they probably looked for that game. Same thing with the Johnnies and Iona. Patino wanted to face off against his old squad.
I think that's a major trap game. I think Patino's waltzing in there thinking, oh, it's going to be an easy.
They just lost to Michigan in an exhibition.
But Michigan's also right.
Yeah.
I think.
But it was at MSG.
I think it's going to be a trap game. Patino's waltzing in there thinking, oh, we're going to destroy Iona. It's Iona. I think either we lose by 20 or we win by like 5 or 10.
I don't know about win. I think it's going to be a close game or a blowout. In the first half, I could definitely see it being close. But who knows? Like, for the emotions of, say, some of these guys on our roster, right? They are playing in the world's most famous arena. And, like, this is the biggest game possibly of their career so far. Playing against, I'm trying to think. I don't think any of our roster has been to the NCAA tournament. So they haven't played in an arena that big before.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what exactly happens with.
I'm excited to see Duke this year. They're going to be
Duke
good.
Should look interesting.
The Boozer twins and Carlos looks ridiculous. Double, I think, in scrimmage yesterday or a couple days ago. I forgot who they played. I also want to check out
Mount playing West Virginia.
See basketball. AP top 25. Purdue
What is
number
the
1.
US MMA?
US Marine Merchant Academy.
Okay, because they're playing Sacred Heart.
Yeah, I only know that because my sister is looking at school there.
What's Saint Joe's of New York? STJNY.
Oh, that's I don't even know. St. Thomas Aquinas, maybe? I don't even know. There's so many.
Yeah, let me see.
Weird schools now, and then I'm looking at the AP. NC State. A lot of people are high on NC State this year, and I don't blame them. They built together a solid roster, a lot of great transfers.
They play St. Joseph's Brooklyn.
Huh.
That's good competition, I guess.
Yeah, looking at the AP, the only great
game. Weird Merrimack traveling to Auburn to play number 20 Auburn.
That's a bye game if I've ever seen a bye game. I'm just looking at like what the big games are week 1. Florida and Arizona is going to be a decent game. Duke and Texas, that's going to be a fun game. BYU Nova, at least on the AP side. We'll go into it more next week, which I'm really excited to talk about. I'm going to do my research and all the.
New Haven is going to be a sleeper team. I think they're going to be good this season.
Yeah, but they're ineligible to make the tournament because it's their first year
Oh
in
yeah,
D1.
that's why Tobin and FDU made the tournament there that year because Merrimack won the NEC, but they couldn't play.
And to think that was one of the greatest upsets in NCAA history. And if
That was
Merrimack was eligible, they would have been in the tournament.
that was
Maybe
like
would have got
eight-
smacked.
That was like 8 years ago.
That was 8 years ago already? No way.
That was like 2015. I think.
No. That was more recent than that.
It was.
FDU Purdue? Yeah, it was 2023.
Oh my!
I was like, whoa, you're making me feel like,
old.
yeah, no, FDU beating Purdue. I hope one of the MAC schools gets to win a tournament game again this year. I
I'm
mean,
hopeful that Iona could do it. I mean, last year
it's going to be tough. Quinnipiac looks really good this year, keeping Amari Monroe.
he's mid, bro. In my opinion,
He's a decent player.
we'll see though. But yeah,
I think that might wrap it up. And next week, we're going to go full in depth of college basketball. We're going to try to preview at least all the games that actually are going to be worth watching during the season and during the day, because it's going to be a lot of college basketball, and I'm ready for college basketball, especially here at Iona. Seeing it on the flip side this time, coming from the other side of the rivalry, I get to see how the hat gets packed out for these games.
it is
compared.
pretty crazy. I met actually fun fact. So Isaiah is a grad student here, but he was a undergrad at Manhattan, and we actually met at the Gold Rush game last year, and it was like the funniest thing because I was sitting next to him making graphics for Iona, and he was like, he was doing his job, doing the analyst stuff and reporting for Manhattan, and I remember being like, "Oh, this guy's chill." And then his boss went to my high school, so
What a small world.
yeah, no, it's pretty wild. Now you're at the
opposite side of the
Yeah.
rivalry, the Iona Manhattan rivalry, which will be taking place on the flip side of the calendar year 2026, which is crazy to think about because we're almost in November now.
which is insane.
I mean, I'm kind of
This year, like last year for me, my freshman year here at Iona, it went by so slow at the beginning. It felt like it was taking an eternity. This year has felt like no time. It's
No.
felt like this year. It's felt like especially like the past few days or like the past like weeks, maybe because I'm doing things every day, but like it definitely feels like much faster.
I think even doing the show now gives me something to look forward to during the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
I think that's like the one thing during my undergrad years that I didn't have much to look forward to during the beginning of the week, and now doing the show and being able to recap all the weekend sports with you and being able to just talk sports for an hour and help everyone recap what happened the previous week in sports is like, this is some fun. I'm enjoying it. And it's given me something to look forward to on everyone's least favorite day of the week on Mondays. And being able to do it on Mondays is great. And being to start off the WIUR week is also a blessing. So I want to just also thank our our producer, Robbie Basil,
the GOAT.
the GOAT, Robbie Basil. He's looking at us.
Oh, he's like, what's going on?
He's like, what's going on?
No.
We're just giving him a shout out. Shout out our producer, Robbie Basil, for everything so far this year, and I can't wait to get going, especially in the wintertime.
Should be
Basketball is going to
great,
be in
yeah.
full swing, and
You're gonna
college
see us. You're gonna
basketball.
see our clothing get progressively heavier and heavier.
oh yeah, and I'm surprised it's still kind of warm in October.
It's also like I like where I live. We both live in North Hall, which is one of the dorms here at Iona, and it's right across the street from Murphy. So like a lot of the time, especially in November, December, I have a feeling I'm gonna be wearing shorts to class still because like it's
That's
still,
great, yeah.
It's still like, I mean, it is cold, but like I'm not gonna be like walking across campus in shorts, which is
Mhm.
good. I'm gonna be like in a building in a classroom. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that might wrap it up. Next week is going to be a big week. We'll maybe do a little season preview since it's WIUR. We'll do like a little season preview of Iona. We could give maybe a little record prediction and what's
little
to
breakdown
come.
of what we think the team, how the
And then,
team's gonna do, because we do have an all new team beside a few players, but should be great.
And then we'll talk about the big games that are hopefully we're going to be able to want to watch rather than a bunch of these bye games that are going to be blowouts. So we'll discuss those games that are going to be worth tuning in. And by this point next week, the World Series may be over. So we'll talk about that. We could also look at if there's any key matchups quickly before we head out for both NFL and college football. Might as well, since we have a little bit of time as well. Some key games that we could be able to keep an eye on. I'm excited for because I don't know, this week for football just felt weird. There was like no crazy games, and I was like, yeah. So next week, looking Vandy going into Texas. That's gonna be a big game. I think Texas. I mean, they need to keep that close, obviously, but I think a win really gets them back into college football playoff contention. Because right now I think they're out of it. But if you win against a top 10 Vandy, you got a shot. Looking at other games, what else we got? Notre Dame, your team's going to Boston College. Should be a whooping. Oklahoma, Tennessee. That's gonna be another really good game. Cincinnati, Utah is gonna be a really good game to close out the top 25 slate. And then looking at NFL next week,
Yeah.
terrible Thursday night game unless Lamar's back. Dolphins, Ravens. Not gonna be watching that.
I think my biggest talking point, and we'll get into it next week. Obviously, I'll go over and give my full breakdown of college basketball when it starts. But
So yeah, we'll be in 2 weeks. We'll be able to officially talk about games that happened,
yes,
not that games are going to
yeah.
happen. And then NFL. Oh, there's no Sunday night game next week.
Oh, interesting.
But I think everyone's gonna be tuning in Chiefs and Bills. That's gonna be a phenomenal game. And then Colts traveling to Pittsburgh. I think those are the two. Denver and Texans is gonna be just a shootout. There's gonna be like 100 points in that game.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, another couple decent games in college football and the big game at 425 on Sunday. And then Monday, we got Cardinals versus the Cowboys, which is So thank you for everyone for tuning in. We will be back next week, same time, 9:30 a.m. to about 10:30 a.m. We're going to be discussing college football. We're going to be back in the groove of college basketball, NFL, and NBA. And Nick will take over a little bit NHL now as the season is really in full swing. I don't really watch a lot of hockey, but maybe I'll tune into a couple games. And thank you everyone for tuning in. And we will be back next week, same place, same time. Good show.
Yes, sir.